Okay, so at this point we have gone ahead and loaded the documents that we're going to be sending to the new leaseholder for signature. And we've entered their names and email addresses and loaded the documents into Boldsign. I thought it would be easier to do it to explain the next steps in the process in this video. What I'm showing you here, the documents that I've got, are to send out to a potential leaseholder the application package. So these documents are not the same as the documents you have, but the process is the same. So the last point in the instruction sheet brought you to this page in the Boldsign program. So this is the first document, which is simply a letter. It's a blanket letter. In your case, it might be the lease document, the actual lease that you've prepared. This is the application. This is the one that for me is the busiest to prepare. But what I want to show you is how to enter data, or how to have the people that are signing it enter the data. So over here, this is a membership application or a lot list application for Tim Smith and Wendy Turner. And you'll see Tim Smith over here on the left side. Tim Smith has got a yellow dot next to his name. Wendy Turner has a green dot. You're going to see the same kind of thing. If you have two applicants, you're going to see two colors. And so we're going to start with Tim right here. And his name is down in this name box on the left side. And you just grab that name and bring it up here and drop it into the box. And it will automatically fit his name right in there. In fact, it's already in there. The date of birth, we put in a text box. We have a date box, a date signed. As you see this box over here on the left, that's the date that they signed it. That's automatically put in by the program. But the date of birth, the program doesn't know what their date of birth is. So we just put in a text box. So we click on a text box, and while we're holding the mouse button down, we drag it over here, and we put it into date of birth. Now, this box we might want to make a little bit bigger because of the size of the text. So we can actually move the box over here to the left a little bit, and then we can click on and hold that and stretch that box out. Now we want to put Wendy Turner over here, so we have to come up and from this drop down, select Wendy Turner and do the same thing with her. Come down and get her name and drag it and see how it's green. And her date of birth, it's going to be a text box, so we're going to put date of birth over there. Now Wendy's the one that, she tells me she's the one that likes to fill out the forms and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to, most of this information like their address and so on, I'm going to leave up to Wendy. So I'm going to put another text box in here for her to put the address in, and I'm going to position it way over on the left, and then I'm going to drag it over here so that if it's a real long address, she can fill that in. Same thing with the city, another text box. Another text box for Wendy. Okay, and so on. So I'll go and finish this all later, but I just want to show you, you don't have to have both people do every field. The only thing that's specific would be different email addresses, different dates of birth, different phone numbers, obviously the signatures, and that sort of thing. The escapee, in this case the escapee RV club membership, that's the same number for both people. So again, I can put that text box over there, and there's only space for one phone number on this application. But let's move on down. Oh, check boxes. Let me show you about check boxes. So down here, we're asking them, do they have a motorhome or a fifth wheel or a travel trailer? So there's a check box here, right here on the left, and we can drag a check box and put it in on motorhome. By default, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a little red dot there. And they don't necessarily have to check each box. We want them to check a box, one or the other, but they don't have to check all of them. But by default, When this checkbox goes in, there's a little red dot, and that says it's required. So let's move on over here to the right, and you'll see under Wendy Turner, this checkbox settings shows up because that's what we've got selected. It's not required. So we're going to deselect that. Now there's no red dot on that green box. Over here, we'll click on that. The checkbox comes back. We deselect it. And over here on motorhome, same thing. The red dot, we deselect it. We want them to select one of them, but they don't have to select any particular one. Number of slides, that would be a text box because it's a number. It's just simply a one-digit number, and we make that small to fit in there. And then it's going to be a checkbox, or excuse me, no, it'll be a text box there too, driver's side and a number. And no, I'm sorry. Number of slides. That would be a text box. It would be like 2 on the driver's side, 1 on the passenger side. So that would be another text box over here. So Wendy is going to be the lucky one that's going to fill out basically this whole form. And now we come down to the signatures. So Wendy, she's over here. We're going to drag a signature from this control panel, and we're going to drag it down to Wendy's side. And then the date sign, we're going to drag that right over there. And it doesn't have today's date in it. It has the day that she's actually going to sign it. We come back up here to the drop down and select him and go to signature and drag his signature over here and the date signed over there. Okay, so the application is complete. The application is complete. There's other forms, and you have other forms too. You have beneficiary forms, you have a lot rental form, and that sort of thing. So we have in the application, we have a prospective member questionnaire. So this is a free form field. So I'm going to say text box, and I'm going to put this text box right here. Okay, but then I'm going to drag this little marker, and I'm going to make that text box bigger. So they now have 4 lines of text that they can fill in down there. Same thing down here. I'm going to put the text box right here. Oops, that's Tim. Wendy wants to be the one to do that, not Tim. So can I delete that? Let me hit the delete key. Yeah, how about that? It deleted. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to select Wendy. And I'm going to go back to text box. And I'm going to put it right there. And then drag it to there. Same thing down here. I'll delete that one because that's Tim. I'm going to go back. Wendy's already selected. Text box. Drag it right there. Put it down there. And so on. We won't do the whole form. I'll come back and do the whole form later. Signature. Wendy's signature. Signature right there. Name. Right there. SKP number would be a text box. Put that there. And that's probably big enough for 6 or 7 digits. Their address would be a text box. Once again, make it big enough. Email address, email right there. There we go. So Wendy is the one that likes to get the emails. And phone number would be a text box. And we'll stretch that out just a little bit. And then for Tim, go back to Tim. Put Wayne in the print name box. Signature in the signature box. See what a signature is going to look like? Can you see that? When I click on it and hold it, it says Tim Smith. If I come over here and click on Wendy Turner, I can make that a little bit bigger, but Wendy Turner shows up. So once they click on it, boom, their signature will show up. Okay, let's move on down. Often asked questions. There's nothing for them to fill out there. Here's a dear applicant. And what this letter is a agreement to participate. So I'm going to put in their signatures there. Signature Tim down there. Date signed down there. Go and select Wendy. Signature there. Date signed there. And this is just a list of committees. We don't ask them to check it out, but it's just for their information. So that's complete. Now my package is complete, and I'm going to have to go back after I get done with this video and continue finishing in those fields. But then you can either select preview or send. And all you have to do is hit send. It will send you an email back to the office at riversroost at yahoo.com, and it'll say you sent a package to these people on this date. Then when Wendy looks at it, it'll send you another email. When Wendy signs it, it'll send you another email. When Tim looks at it, it'll send you another email. When Tim signs it, it'll send you another email. When they've both signed it and they're done, it'll send you an email with the complete package back. You'll want to send an email back to them, acknowledge them that you have received the package, and then you'll be processing it and getting the president's signature, and you'll be looking forward to their check, and so on and so on. Any questions? Give me a call, 419-947-4004, and somehow I'm going to put this video into that document so you can read it, watch it, see it, whatever. Okay? Bye for now.